morning, everyone, or afternoon, or night. Whenever you're reading this, have a good what have you. Today is Reason to Smile, episode number 6, but we're not calling it episode number 6 because today is a very special edition in honor of National Suicide Prevention Day. I decided to make a special edition / exercise that somebody struggling with mental illness like myself could do to calm themselves down in terms of a sad crisis or a serious episode, what have you. So today, I want you to listen on as I talk about 10 reasons why I'm smiling, and I want you to make a video or a list. It can be a list. I think video is a bit better format though, for yourself, and watch it if you're having a crisis. Be sure to do it when you're having a relatively good day and nothing's clouding your mind, alright? Now let go! That's probably the biggest reason on my list, and that's that I'm still alive. Now, I've fought with my depression for going on 7 to 8 years now. And I can honestly say it's probably the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. But I'm still alive. I'm still fighting. And unfortunately, others haven't been as lucky during their fight with mental illness. So, I take every day as a gratefulness that I'm alive. Now, this isn't an admission of anything that happened or anything. It's just me realizing that I'm so much stronger than I think I am, and that I'm strong enough to fight it. Number 2. Now, it's also no secret in my life that I suffer from really bad anxiety. Everything I do in my life is usually second-guessed. Hell, even these videos, I don't like the sound of them. I don't like how I make them. But I second-guess everything in my life is the point, especially academically. Now, in my first year of college this past year, however, I did so well academically that I was invited to join the National Honor Society. That's a group, they offer invites to only the highest academic level kids from what I understand. And I even made the dean's list for my school. I would honestly take this as one of the biggest wins of my life. Now, I've done well on other things academically before, but this to me is one of the finest achievements I've ever done. And it really makes me feel good about myself. We all need a win every once in a while, don't we, guys? Number 3 is that green autism is helping people. Now, I know, the numbers on this channel aren't very great at the moment, but I've noticed that this is still helping others. Recently, I was at a friend's show. Now, this friend is a musician, and quite a great one at that. I love his band. They're awesome. And me and him were talking after the show, and he told me that he watched a video I did a while back about 10 tips to help with anxiety, and that it actually helped him when he goes to perform. And that he used some of my tips, actually, and that made me feel really, really good to know that something I created, even though that's the goal of this thing, I didn't expect it to actually help people, but it is helping people, and that is just one of the most... I know it sounds silly, but that also really meant a lot to me when he said it. Now, number 4, the feedback I got, and number 4 is the feedback I got on this project so far. In June, when I first released my video talking about and finally accepting my autism, I was afraid because almost no one in my life actually knew that I am autistic or I have depression, and I kept it a very hush-hush secret until now. Only the closest people in my life had any idea. I had no idea how anyone was going to react, but the feedback was absolutely amazing and heartwarming. That's also my most viewed video with over 200 views. But I wanted to do this because to spread awareness, to show people like me on the autism spectrum that they don't have to be afraid of who they are and that they should embrace who they are. Now, number 5. This is one of my favorites. Not that any of these are downgraded, but I should stop talking for a second. When I, quote-unquote, grow up, get out of college, mind you, what I want to do... an author or a poet. I'm already working on a poetry book to be released next year. It is by far my dream career. Aside from helping others, that one's my favorite, but I've actually made money off of this career already. See, a few years ago, a friend of mine was doing a Halloween walk, and he actually hired me because he saw one of my poetry shows, as the official poet of the thing. Basically what I did was I entertained people with my horror poems before they actually went on the walk, and I was moved in on the walk eventually. This one's here for when I doubt myself about becoming an author one day. I can say to myself, hey Matt, you actually made money already off of being a poet, so quiet down about these anxieties, okay? Now, number 6. In the span of 4 months, this now past summer, I wrote / put together an entire 140-page book of poetry. Now, some of it I had written in the years before I even had the idea for the book, and a lot of it I wrote originally for the book. I'm currently in the process of editing the book before I self-publish it on Amazon. Look for it, guys. It's going to be really good. Also, in the same summer, I finally launched this Green Autism project here on YouTube. Now, there's a lot more phases and plans for this project I have coming up soon, but I had the idea for Green Autism inside my head since 2017. I believe November of 2017 is when I first got the idea for this, and I'm only finally just getting around to it. See, I was so afraid and nervous for when this was coming out. I kept putting it back and back and back. I'm playing with a Rubik's Cube, by the way. I need to keep my hands occupied. But pushing it back and back until finally I said to myself, June 20th, 2019, that's the day you're releasing it. End of story. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but June 20th is a very special day to me, because that was the birthday of a special friend I had growing up as a kid. Now, number 7. Now, I think it's no secret, guys, that I'm a huge wrestling fan. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Now, earlier this year, I actually went to WrestleMania. Now, that may not seem like much to most, but to a wrestling fan, they know that it's the biggest and most important wrestling show of the entire year. And to do that was a huge thing off my bucket list I wanted to do in my life. So that was number 7. Now on to number 8. I actually talked to one of my favorite authors of all time online. His name is Steve Alton. For those of you who don't know, he's the one who wrote the Meg series. This is Meg Generations, the 8th book in the series. It's the only book series I will, if I see it out, I will get it. I will read every single book cover to cover. My favorite thing. If you don't also know what the Meg series is, last year they released a movie called The Meg. I wasn't the hugest fan of it, but I'm very happy to see he got a movie for it. Anyway, the series I wrote online called My Autistic Girlfriend, the series about a man living with his girlfriend/wife with autism to spread awareness about autism in relationships, what have you, he actually read. And he shared it on his Facebook page for his followers to, he shared a paragraph I sent him from it for his followers on it to see. And he's a really good dude. That meant so much to me because it was after reading his first novel, Meg, a novel of deep terror, what they based the movie off of, that I actually wanted to become an author. And that was one of the biggest honors I have ever had in my life. So, oh yeah, before I forget, he even followed my old Instagram account, which again is another huge honor for me, because he's the one who made me want to become an author after I read his work. Now, number 9. I'm actually happy being autistic. I love being different. I don't like being the same as everybody else because I feel that's so boring. And I finally started to embrace who I am inside as a person, guys. Now, number 10. I know that the last few were short. Number 10. It's kind of mirroring what it usually is. Number 10 is you for watching. The whole idea for the Green Autism Project on my part was to create something for people like me suffering from mental disorder or living with autism that helps them and shows them that anybody can be a hero. And so far, you guys are proving me wrong. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Oh, outro soon. I promise.
With my boy Ted. Hey Ted, get in the shot, buddy. I'm here with my boy Teddy, and I just wanted to say that, well, today's exercise can be very helpful, and I know it's helped me a lot. remembering the good things in my life, it's no excuse for professional help. So if you're struggling and need help, please don't be afraid to seek professional help. It is really worth it, guys, I promise. Have a good day.